How we all doing, guys? The Premier League fixtures have finally been announced for the 22-23 season. Let's get straight into it. Obviously, get your comments in, get your views in. We want your views on the fixture list. We'll show you it as the intro is going. So let's get straight into it. Let's just go because I'm so
Welcome
excited.
to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right, guys, let's get the guest straight in. Here he comes. Jack, how are we all doing?
I'm alright, you?
I'm good, especially after the fixture list come out today. Obviously, here straight away you can see every game coming up this season. Let's talk about the first 5 games then. Brentford, Arsenal, Southampton, Chelsea, and United. What is your first thoughts on the first 5 matches of the season?
Brentford, we should really get 3 points out of that one. Beat them twice last season. Chelsea, I mean, we got battered against them at home last season, but then got a draw at their place. Obviously, this time it's the start of the season, then not near the end of the season where they're guaranteed Champions League. They've got to go and earn it from the first off. Man United, you know, we can get something there, I'm sure, but obviously Everett Ten Hag won't allow last season to carry on into this season, so he'll want big changes in this summer. Arsenal, we haven't really had the greatest record against them in the past few years. We have at home, but not away from home. But I think, you know, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt at the end of the day. You know, it's not where we're gonna get writ off straight away, aren't we, at the end of the day against them sort of teams. So, but it's who the best team on the day is to win them games. So it should make for an exciting season, depending on how many signings we actually make this summer.
Exactly. Like I say, the first 5 games just shows like a bit of a statement to be like, if we can get a few wins against them bigger teams, it just shows from the start from we can do something. Obviously, like you say, Brentford to begin with, they beat Arsenal first game. So it is a tough ask to begin with, but again, the harder the fixtures are in certain areas, the easier it'll be in other areas. So going into the next 5 games, you'd maybe say it's a lot easier. Yes, the Forest are in there, but again, you've got Brighton, Aston Villa, Spurs, Forest, and Bournemouth. I think, to be honest, 3 of them should be wins. Again, it can never be an easy win against any team in the Premier League, but obviously you've got Spurs and Forest in there. What's your thoughts on playing Forest that early?
Well, Nottingham Forest, it's about payback. I've been looking forward to that game now in the Premier League. The FA Cup didn't really go the way we planned, but this season it's a revenge mission to beat them in both legs of the season. I think Brighton, you know, they're getting rid of Cucurella, aren't they? So I guess that's a massive miss in their defensive options. Dan Burn as well, a big miss for them last season when he left. So I think, you know, the Aston Villa game, we can get 3 points for sure. I know it didn't really go well at Villa Park last season, but, you know, hopefully things have changed around. Bournemouth, newly promoted side. That's the away game, isn't it, Bournemouth?
It is, yes.
Yeah, we don't do well there. I mean, went 1-0 up and lost 5-1, I believe, last time we went there. We don't really have a great record at Bournemouth. The only time I think we won at Bournemouth in the last few times we played them is when Kevin Phillips scored in the Championship. So Tottenham will probably be the hardest game out of the lot. I mean, they've strengthened this season with Perisic. they're looking on getting Ericsson back there and players like that. So Tottenham could be a force next season under Antonio Conte. So these fixtures are going to come thick and fast, but it's how you deal with them on the day of the game that matters.
Again, as well, we've got Forest on the 9th game of the season. To be honest, I'm glad it's a home game. Obviously, the away game's still quite early in the season compared to where we probably would like to have been near the end of the season. But again, I'm glad the first Forest match is at home instead of away, because if they do beat us away again and they come out to our place, they'll probably want a triple threat against us. So, yeah, obviously going into the third lot of games, into the next 5, you've got Crystal Palace at home, Leeds at home as well. Then you've got Wolves away, then Man City and Everton. Really, looking at it now quickly, most each 5 games is at least one big one in there, which you'd probably think we might not get a run going, but again, it all depends on how we play.
Yeah, you've got to go and win them games before you start playing this so-called top 6 scenario. There, you got to go and beat your Leeds, and them sort of teams. Man City be the hardest one out the lot there. I mean, Erling Haaland's first Premier League season. I mean, that could go to plan or it could go to pot. Who knows? So I guess, you've got to go and beat the Leeds, the Aston Villas, them sort of teams, because they're the teams that you should be getting points from. But knowing Leicester, well, what do we say? We think we're guaranteed 3 points and ended up losing and thinking, we lost that. But, it's one of them. So I think it'd be an interesting first few games. If we can really get more points in the first half of the season, then it'd be good, because last season we struggled to even do that. Hopefully the injuries stay away this season as well. So.
Exactly. I think that's one of the main things I've said to other people, that if we can keep them injuries lower than a lot recently, then going forward we should be a bit more of a force going forward into all the games coming in. But the next lot, again, is probably maybe the second worst running, because obviously the next run is going to be absolutely incredibly hard. But obviously West Ham, Newcastle, Liverpool, Fulham, and then Forest away, which is the big one. What do you reckon?
Newcastle. Well, we beat them at home last season 4-0. I mean, the away leg. Is it away first, Newcastle? It is, isn't it?
I want to make sure of this. So Newcastle is home first.
Oh, is it at home? I thought, but it's Boxing Day, isn't it, that one?
Yes.
Yeah. You've got to make that count then. West Ham, a very tricky side, very good side, West Ham on their day. If we could keep a fit side next season, then we can beat teams like West Ham. I mean, hit the King Power last season. I'd say the second half we could have got the 3 points, but then one half doesn't make a game. But hopefully VAR is better this season, because last season, it didn't really pay off in any seasons it's been in. But Liverpool, they'll want title this season, won't they? But I guess, they brought Núñez in now, haven't they? Sadio Mane's on the outdoor, shall I put it? So Liverpool, they'll want to win the trophy. So, but hopefully we can go there on New Year's Eve and go and win.
Again, like you say, between the West Ham game and the Newcastle game, obviously there's the World Cup happening then. So really, coming back from the World Cup, playing in someone like Newcastle, Liverpool and Forest in the first few weeks after the World Cup really isn't the best of games to go into, really, is it? You'd want the easier games to go into. But then again, like you say, you could beat anyone on any day. So it's just how you play on the day. Going forward into the second half of the season, we play Brighton, Villa, Spurs, United, Arsenal. Ouch. Ouch. February for us is going to be a tough one. What do you reckon to that?
We need to start getting the points before, in my opinion. I think the home form's going to be a massive key this season to where we finish in the league. Our home form last season wasn't great. Our away form, you could say, was better. Next season we need to defend corners. That'll be a massive key next season to where we get the points from. If we could tighten up at the back, then we'll be fine. But I think February, like you say, Brighton, Aston Villa, I think we can get 6 points out of them. Tottenham, maybe a draw. Man United and Arsenal, it depends how they turn up, because Arsenal are one of them, aren't they? Who they went on an 11-game run and then all of a sudden bottled top 4. So, and Man United again, it's how Ten Hag starts his season off. If they start in the same way as last season and the season before that, then they're in trouble, aren't they? So I don't think Man United will be the forces what Man United fans are expecting, because Ten Hag's got a massive job there to do. So I can't see it being an easy season for them going forward, because really they haven't signed anyone in this transfer window yet, have they? So it makes it interesting to who they're going to sign. If they don't sign anybody, Pogba leaves and players like that, then it could be the same scenario. Obviously, Matic is left as well. So there's your experienced player out the door, the Matters and them sort of players. So Man United have got to build big this season. If they don't, then they're going to be in trouble next season, really.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, the main thing with them fixtures there is 2 or 3. I think 2 of the 3 games in that line are both at home, which is probably the better scenario for us going forward. But again, it's all about how they perform. We've lost to Arsenal at home before. We've lost to Spurs last season. It's not the easiest games to play, but you never know. But going forward into the next line of the fixtures, then we do play Southampton away, Chelsea at home. Again, another home game against the top 6 in that sort of area. Brentford, Crystal Palace, and Bournemouth. What do you reckon to that, mate?
9 points in the Bournemouth game. Who else have we got? Sorry, Crystal Palace, Southampton. They're teams who we took points from. Brentford as well. It's just Chelsea for me, really. Chelsea want Champions League football next season, so it's an interesting one. I think 12 points out of 15 in that one, or 13 points.
Yeah, going forward into the next lot of fixtures then before getting to the end of the season, to be honest. That's how quick it's going to be going in the season anyway. We play Man City away, Wolves at home, Leeds, Everton, and Fulham. We won't get your views on this one, Jack. We'll get this man's views.
Yes, I've got a spare few minutes, so I just thought I'd pop up, show me face. So,
Ross, what do you reckon to them row of fixtures then? Obviously,
Which
Man
one?
City, Wolves, Leeds, Everton, and Fulham.
Oh, I mean, tough game. It's a tough game. I mean, they're all tough games. I mean, no easy games. No game is easy. So, I mean, obviously I've not managed to see the show yet because I've been, doing stuff. But oh god, it's hot in here. But yeah, obviously they're all tough games. I think the one I look forward to more than anything is anyone fancy a New Year in Liverpool? Because I've already booked an hotel.
Of course you have.
Oh, of course I have. Same with
Picking up a scouse bird on the night out, Ross. And...
Yeah, no. But no, show the fixture up again, read it a second. Just observe. So Man City away, Wolves at home, Leeds away. That Leeds away will be key because whenever it is, I think what be April time, something like that.
Yeah.
It'll probably change the sky. Most of these games, by the way, are probably going to change the sky. You do realise that?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
100%.
But going into the last row of fixtures, then people are saying it's not as bad. It's not as bad running, but again, you've got someone like West Ham who are probably going to be challenging for that
last
top
away
6.
game, Newcastle. That is going to be fun.
Newcastle is going to be. No, people are saying they're going to be chasing top 8 at least. So you never know. It's going to be a tough. But then before that, you've got Liverpool. So the last 3 games are crucial to making sure we get into them spots if we are going to be high up with that. Then, but we'll move on to the favourite game of the season. Then, where would you? Obviously, the main one, Forest away.
Oh, your team.
Other than that, what game in that fixture list are you looking forward to?
Bournemouth away. Because
Bournemouth away.
I'll tell you. Yeah, well, think about it. It's just, I'll tell you why. Read it, right? I've been Southampton away. I've been Portsmouth away back in 2011. I need to tick off the South Coast, and I've always said I want to go a whole weekend explore Bournemouth. You know, that's one of the main reasons why. No, I disagree with that, and I'll tell you why. After all the trouble that happened back in February, I can see that being well, saying that, they're probably stupid enough to put it Friday night kickoff or something. But no, Bournemouth, Liverpool away. Come on, New Year's Eve, and that. Imagine that it's on a Saturday as well. Imagine that New Year's Eve we just beat Liverpool, and then we're going there night out uptown in Liverpool.
Jack, what's your thoughts on your favourite? Well, obviously, again, we can't say the Forest game because everyone's going to say that it's their game they want to wait for. But
just rephrase that, your team. Yeah.
No, it's not. But what game are you looking forward to the most other than that? Then?
Well, it's obviously going to be Forest, isn't it?
Other than that,
I want revenge on Doron Tour this season, so Forest for me. But if you look at all the other fixtures, then I don't really care, to be honest. I ain't got a favourite fixture out of a lot of them.
Hang on a minute. I want to respond to some of these comments I've just seen. You are so weird. You will say Barnsley in the FA Cup being the biggest away game, biggest game in our history. Right. I wouldn't say that at all. Don't get me wrong. I want to say, of course, I want to say Forest is one of our main important ones, but really did say apart from the obvious. So I look forward to that. Yeah, but everyone has looked forward to games. I mean, Jono, you don't even know much about Newcastle anyway, and you live there. So you know, Barnsley away is a local game for me.
Forest, Villa, and Wolves.
Forest, Villa, and Wolves. Yeah, they're all close games. Big games, but again, for me, I think it's that row of fixtures where you say Spurs, United, Arsenal, and Chelsea in 5 games in a 5-game run, which is big. And there's 3 home games. It is. They're all, to be honest, all of them are because, like you say, you say that we've got a better run in this year than last year, but I still think it's going to be a very hard running at the end of the season.
I tell you what, though, Liverpool, if they're chasing for the Premier League title, so if we're chasing them with them, it's going to be a tough. I was wondering if you caught that up. Hey, you never know.
If we're running with them.
Can you imagine if we were in the running?
Well, yeah, and you go to Liverpool, third game before the end.
No, do you know why that game was so important? Because if we're challenging for top 5, top 6, or whatever, and Liverpool need that win, they're like a point behind Man City, like they were this season. We go and beat them, and then Man City win league again or something. Let's not forget last year. Remember, we beat them 1-0, and that cost them the title. Yeah. So I'm going to shoot anyway because I'm at a petrol station. So I will see you in a bit, lads. Anyway.
Go on, go and fill your missus up, Ross.
It's not in a bit.
There you go, Jack. So obviously, you said the Forest game is your favourite game for this season. Obviously, I think everyone's going to say that in the chat. But really, what are you hoping for this season? Obviously, injuries aside, set pieces aside, signings coming in. Where do you think this season's going to end up? Because to be honest, it is a hard one. And again, if you can get rid of them set piece goals, Arsenal, one of the least amount of conceded. They've got top 5. Again, if we have that, we could easily have hit that. What do you reckon?
It's a difficult one this season, really, to be honest. I mean, not being in Europe's not
as well, yeah.
Not being in Europe's not going to attract any really good players, is it? To the football club as what we could have got if we were in the Europa League next season. Yeah, I mean, there were one there from Jay Evans about Yuri Tillemans. Arsenal are interested in Yuri Tillemans. Arsenal have put a bid forward. How far that goes now, I'm not sure. I believe Arsenal are the only team in for him at this minute in time. Yuri, this season, will he leave? Well, if Arsenal are going to pay the money for him, then I think he's going to go because European football is what he wants. No Champions League club are interested in Yuri Tillemans. So it's an interesting one where that Yuri scenario ends up. But for me this season, we've got to strengthen up from corners. We need to sign some real solid players. Like if we're going to get rid of Perez, Vestergaard, Samare, you want some really strong key players who's going to come in and do the job from the off. Not someone who's going to take a year, maybe 2 seasons to then think, like Patson Daka. 1 season, scored 11 goals. I'd give him another season to see where his head's at and that in the Premier League. If he's good enough next season, then fine. If not, then get rid. These players need to step up next season. Hamza Chowdhury is on his way out, I believe. So I think you know what, KDH next season, it's going to be a massive season for him because it'll be his first full season in a Leicester City shirt in the Premier League. So I think he'll be a dominant force in that midfield. People talk about Yuri Tillemans as replacement. You've got one there in the team. You don't really need to go out and buy another. You only need to go and replace the Vestergaards, the Perez, them sort of players. Who else have we got? Lookman next season. Will Lookman be here? £14 million they want for Lookman. Will Leicester pay it? Is Brendan Rodgers interested in Lookman? I'm not sure because he didn't really get as much game time near the end of the season as what he expected. But I think that's Brendan. Is he keen on him? Is he feeling that he's consistent enough to be in that squad and be that right winger that Brendan's looking for? Well, everyone's been linked this season, really. So I think Leicester this season need real strength in depth. We've got a very good 11, but the subs bench, you can see where we're lacking, and it's the subs bench, in my opinion, and we need to strengthen that. And if we can do that next season, then I think we'll be a force. If we can keep away from the Royal Infirmary next season and not get any injuries to key players like Fofana and that, then I think they'll be big. I think Fofana will be a big season for him next season as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right.
So I'm looking forward to it.
John says top 10 finish in a cup will be good for me this season. Do you think that's more? I think that's a bit of a. I don't know if we have a good season. I think 10th is a really well, but then again, it did say top 10, so I'd say more of a top 7, top 8 would be all right for me. Maybe a good cup run. I think he's about right. Maybe a bit higher than 10th. But what is your thoughts? Do you reckon we can reach Champions League? Or is that just too much to ask with what we've got at the moment?
I think next season, looking at it, Man City, Liverpool will finish first and second. Tottenham, I think they'll finish in the top 4 next season for sure with the players that they're bringing in. If Jesus goes there, Richarlison, them sort of players, then I think Tottenham's a very good chance of Champions League football again. I know Leicester fans won't really want to hear me say that because it's the third horse races. But I think Leicester, my prediction for Leicester next season will be a top 7 finish. I think we can do that if we can stay injury-free and defend set pieces when it matters. I think that's what's cost us last season, really, the injuries, the set piece scenario and all that. If that didn't happen, then we'd have been beating teams like Everton and teams like that. I think if we can not drop points against these teams because we'd lost most points in winning positions last season. So if we can keep our goals out the net then and score in their net rather than letting in our own, then I think we'll be fine next season. I think we'll be in Europe with a good chance. But, you know, I think a good trophy would be there as well. Maybe the Carling Cup next season, something like that. But the Premier League, it's a dream again. So I'd say to Leicester fans, dream big and see what happens.
Exactly. The final note we'll say on the video on the stream then is, if we don't sign better quality players, we're not going to make top 10, let alone top 7. Again, I think the team we've got at the moment is good enough. We need to stop the set pieces. We need to stop getting injuries. If we have them two situations out of the picture, we should smash it. Because again, there's certain games we've lost because of set pieces. Certain games we've lost just because we've not had the players in there fit. For me, we've got a good enough squad. We just need to improve it, like you say, to improve the squad on the bench, improve the team, to be honest. Bring the players that need to come in and we could smash it next season.
Yeah, I think looking at Neil Whiteman's comment, that one, if we don't sign better quality players, we aren't going to make top 10. I agree. Like I say, we've got a very good 11 who can start a game. It's the bench that our main problem is. Last season, we didn't really sign strength in depth. It were more like for like signings. We don't need that. We need to strengthen our bench. If we can strengthen our bench, we'll be fine. I mean, last season it cost us because a lot of players got injured, but the players who came in last season wasn't good enough to fill them positions, which I think it'll be key where Brendan's heads at next season. Forest relegated is a good season. Yeah, I wanted Forest last game of the season, send them down, but, you know, who knows? They have a long enough to fix, and we didn't. Forest will be down by March. Yeah, talking about Jay Evans' comment, Reedy.
Yep.
Chris Smalling. that would have been a good replacement if we'd not roamed out the Europa Conference League and got Europe. Chris Smalling will not come to Leicester City without European football.
No.
If anything, it's all about money, but some players aren't money driven. It's all about where you are as a team in like Europe, and that's their main focus. But I think Chris Smalling could have came here for £8 million a few years back, but Leicester didn't take that bite, did they? They just left it, and then he ended up at Roma.
Jamie,
I'm good.
are we all good? Happy with the season fixtures that come out? Get your comment in. We don't know what people's favourite game. Again, it's always going to be the Forest away, isn't it?
Here's one for you then, Reedy.
Go on then.
Pick your top 7 then in the Premier League this season. We'll see if we can get it spot on in the predictions now.
An early one, because we'll probably do one later in.
Yeah, okay. Pick your top 7 then. Who's going to win the league?
Man City are winning it, just because the players are brought in. Haaland's just going to absolutely smash it, I think. I think Liverpool gets second again. Boring old Liverpool and Chelsea. Then Chelsea, I think third. Fourth, I'm going to put out their Spurs. I think they'll do well again. They brought a few good players in. They're not going to... I don't think they're not going to get top 4 again. But then again, they've got Europe. You don't know.
5th and 6th.
5th, I give it to United. I think no, because I'm thinking about just top 6. No, I think Leicester will get 5th. I think Leicester will get 5th.
That's a big one.
And then 6th will be Arsenal, and then United will be 7th.
Where does West Ham come to it this season?
8th. I think we'll be the best of them. Best of the rest, that obviously you would probably think to either win it or be in the title race. So I think we'll finish either 5th or 6th, and it'll be a good season. But then again, that depends on signings and how we do play in the season. You can't really be losing games that you don't deserve to be winning. But yeah,
I think Man City will win the league. Liverpool 2nd, 3rd Tottenham, 4th Chelsea, 5th. I'm going to say Arsenal. 6th, I think Leicester. West Ham will finish 7th, and Man United will finish 8th. I think Manchester United need a massive rebuild. I mean, they haven't signed anybody at this moment in time, have they, really, Man United? I think they've only still got the Fernandezes. Pogba's on his way out. Matic, Mator, Lingard, them sort of players have gone. Dean Henderson, he could be on his way to Nottingham Forest on loan, so that backup goalkeeper choice is gone. Obviously, Lee Grant, he's retired now, so that they haven't really got... I think they've still got Romero, haven't they, Man United, as a second choice?
No.
Oh, has he gone as well?
Their second choice is Dean Henderson. Their third choice is... I can't remember now.
So at the back then, they've still got Wan-Bissaka. They're open to selling Wan-Bissaka though, aren't they? I mean, they've still got Luke Shaw, Lindelof, Phil Jones, Harry Maguire. Eric Bailey's on his way out as well. So I think that'll be a key to where Man United finish as well. But Ten Hag, Frankie de Jong from Barcelona, I can't see him going to Man United. I think now teams are going to overlook Man United and want to sign for Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, Chelsea, because they're doing better in the league and they're in Europe as well. Man United, where did they finish? Where did Man United finish last season? Were it 6th?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, West Ham finished 7th. So I think Man United, they're not this. They're not. They're history. They're a history club now, isn't it? They're not. I think they've got the
I think they've got the right manager now. But again, the team they've got really just isn't.
It's attracting the players.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be difficult for Man United.
But to end off, then Jamie says Boxing Day, Newcastle home. I think a lot of people would say that as well. But is there any game you're coming to, Jamie? Is there any of them games you're thinking, I'm already booking the flights to come to them games before we do end? Unless you're not in here, which means we'll end the show there. But quickly ask you in case you are here. Daisy's waiting for walkies, Jack. Jack, I think it might be time to go anyway then, because you've got to go take a walkies. But yeah, appreciate you coming on, Jack. That is the fixture list again. Here is the fixtures before we do go. For anyone who wants to take a screenshot or whatever, go check out the socials as well to make sure you get them if you haven't already. And that's it. Appreciate you coming on, Jack, and we'll catch you all next stream probably.
Yep.
See you in a bit, mate. Cheers. And there you go, guys. Appreciate you coming in, and we'll catch you all next time. Peace.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.